Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence on this 15th January 2026 in the year of our dumpster fire. Sarge Time, your LPD from U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Lord have mercy. What is going on in the news today? Hope you guys and gals, today should be, I know for some of you, it should be a 4-day weekend coming up. Am I right? You guys should supposed to be getting like a safety brief, MLK's birthday. I think that's what's going on, right? Isn't that what we're talking about is happening? Or is that like, I think it's like, isn't it this week, next week? Anyways, at any rate, so welcome to Sergeant's Time. Wow, pretty busy week, hadn't we? I know there was some drama. I don't want to say drama, but there was some interesting, I don't even know if I want to call it a town hall. I don't even know if I want to call that a Q&A, because it was more so Q&A like moderated stuff that I think really didn't really get a big, I don't know. We're going to talk about the Army ASL SITREP. And we're also going to talk about, dude, what's going on with the Stars and Stripes. I kind of wanted to kick this off because of any institution, the Stars and Stripes has been around with the soldiers. I mean, shit, since World War II. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm old enough to remember World War II, but I mean, when I remember joining the military, you always saw those stories from Stars and Stripes. I know back in the day, I mean, it was a pretty valuable piece of information that you got from back home, stories that were handpicked and selected. And I'm not reading no talking point, or I'm not reading a description of Stars and Stripes. I'm just going off of my own personal experience in my service that I experienced with Stars and Stripes. And it was kind of weird that I'm hearing, or not hearing, it was put out. It was a statement from Sean Parnell, the assistant to the Secretary of War for Public Affairs, chief spokesman for the Pentagon, and senior advisor to SecWar. Now, we'll see let me just read the quoteth that was tweeted out. And as a matter of fact, let me just window cap it, so that way you guys can just see it for yourselves. That way you can say, yeah, oh, bullshit, this didn't happen, blah, blah. Let me window cap this right here, and then you'll see, oh, okay, cool. That's what he said. And he tweeted this out. There we go. Department of War is returning a Stars and Stripes to his original mission, reporting for our warfighters. We are bringing Stars and Stripes into the 21st century. We will modernize its operations, refocus its content away from the woke distractions. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. That siphon morale and adapted to serve a new generation of service members. Stars and Stripes will be custom tailored to our warfighters, which will focus on warfighting, weapon system, fitness, lethality, survivability, and all things military, which I thought they did already, but no more repurposed DC gossip columns, no more Associated Press reprints, and Stars and Stripes has a proud legacy of reporting news that is important to our service members. The Department of War is committed to ensuring that the outlet continues to reflect that proud legacy. Now, again, I'm just saying again, I don't was it quote unquote woke? I mean, I remember back in the day, if you were deployed or you were stationed overseas, you got the Stars and Stripes and it was like flipping through different, you had these stories from New York, you had stories from the Midwest, you had stories from the West Coast, you had military stories, you had senior leaders, and depending on where you were at, and then, they had different regions of where you were, where you were at. Like if you had the European edition and talked about, European stuff, or you had the Pacific edition, right? And so I didn't really think it needed to be changed. I mean, it just like any other paper, you have an opinion piece, you have the editorial, you have the sports stuff. I will say this, that Stars and Stripes was a little, it was a little, I want to say it was biased to certain teams. Yeah, I'll say it. It was biased to certain teams. I didn't want to hear about a specific football, baseball, or basketball team. I wanted to hear about mine, but I understand, it's to the whole entire Department of Defense. And of course, it just, again, I really didn't see it as, whoa. I mean, I saw the articles. You read the letters to the editor. The letters to the editor were hilarious. Some of it was better. It was better. I'll tell you what, the letters to the editor in Stars and Stripes was actually funny, because in today's version, it would be like spouses group. So-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. And there's a lot of people that would pick up the Stars and Stripes of an article that, or just an opinion that someone put in there in the Stars and Stripe, and it was some leader, it was some senior leader that would write something, or just a buck sergeant or a specialist or a PFC that just wanted to talk about their time in the service. I mean, again, I didn't want to say it wasn't useful. I'm just saying that when, there was other methods and other platforms at the time that you could read, especially if you were, like you had other newspapers, or the internet was coming up, during the GWAT, the Global War on Terror. I don't know why people are saying GWAT. I've never heard GWAT. I know people are trying to bring some lexicon back because somebody popular said it. I always called it the guac, like guacamole, but the GWAT. So the Stars and Stripes posted that the Pentagon suggested it would take over editorial content decision-making for Stars and Stripes in a statement from the Department of Defense's top spokesman. And the statement appears to challenge the editorial independence of Stars and Stripes, which, while in part of the Pentagon's defense media activity, which you guys didn't know that, right? It's part of the DMA. It has long retained independence from editorial oversight from the Pentagon under a congressional mandate that it be governed by by First Amendment principles, not social media principles. Don't. So again, why we doing this? Well, why is this happening? Do I think that some of our public affairs and our comms needs updated? Oh yeah, for sure. Don't even get started on our influence activities. Don't even get started on that. Those are other podcasts and professional podcasts to discuss. But I just didn't see the, yeah. Yeah, thank you. If it's not on Stars and Stripes, it's unofficial. I would love some guacamole. Yeah, GWAT, old man. Get with the times. No, I'm not going to say GWAT. I'm going to call it the GWAT. You youngins need to understand. I was there for the invasion of Iraq, so I can kind of back in the day, back in Operation Desert Nam, back when we did, that was Iraq. And then, of course, Afghanistan. I wasn't hunting tree Asians. I was hunting the spider Asians. Okay. Amanda says questions are rarely answered. You ain't lying. If it's not on Stars and Stripes, it's not official. Again, I'm just saying these were some of the platforms. Like I said, you're walking to think about it. You're on patrol. You're just doing stuff out. Hell, even if you're doing rail loading or something like that, and you're overseas somewhere, and you see a stack of newspaper up, I don't give a shit where it comes from. I'm just like, oh, hey, shit, Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes has, yep, Stars and Stripes with this. Yep, Stars and Stripes. Yep. Okay, read the paper along. You kind of left it on the table in the team room or something like that. Or in the jock or the talk. You didn't care. Weren't you on Stars and Stripes? I was waiting. I was afraid that question would come up. I was. Hang on. Let me see if I can find myself. Sometimes you gotta find yourself. Let's see if let me see if I'm in here. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me go to another account here. Let me Googleize it. Let me see if I'm in here, and then I will pull myself up. And I'm trying to. I didn't want to derail from that, but I do have to. I want to answer the questions, and I want to say, hey, wait in here. I gotta find it. Yeah, looks like I can't find it. Well, sorry, guys. I guess I can't find it. Okay, I found it. Damn it. I will send this to myself and then show the images of that. There we go. You guys are good. And shut up. I need to be quiet. Some of you guys know me. All right, so okay, fine. Let me pull up the post of me and the Stars and Stripes. So I was on the cover of Stars and Stripes, and reason why is because part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, I deployed with my unit, like a brag, SIAT, deployed, and then I PCS to Germany, which at that time, that organization, the 1st Armored Division, was deploying. And so the timing of this and the time of showing up and all that, I was put on the Stars and Stripes. I didn't think it was a big deal because at the time I got to Germany to then forward deploy with the 1st Armored Division. Who cares? Ain't nobody gonna say shit. Nobody's gonna see it. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. As soon as this paper was really, I didn't know that this was down in it got down to Iraq. It got down before me, so I was already down there by the time this thing came out. I was like, the looks on people's faces. The subtitle says, Staff Sergeant Ken Ramos, who already served a tour in Iraq with 10 Special Forces Group, leads a class of 1st Armored Division soldiers. So these are the guys that were doing what was called like a IRT, individual ready training, basically showing you what was happening in, guys leading up to tell the noobs this is what's happening. Well, I was already there. So I was like, okay. And I got in trouble. I didn't say I got in trouble, but this is my experience in 1st Armored Division land. I showed up and I called it Baghdad for Dummies. Needless to say, the leadership of 1st Armored Division at the time wasn't happy by the time I got down to meet them in Iraq for my 2nd tour of Iraq. This was their 1st tour. This was the first time them going in. And then this was me meeting up on my 2nd tour. So I'd got back from Fort Bragg, and then I attended battle staff, and then I met up with 1st Armored Division. So it was like, I was not even back, not even a couple months. So, and then I went right back. So, yeah, needless to say, so that's my experience with the Stars and Stripes. Baghdad for Dummies. That's all it was. I mean, I was, reading books, you get that, the whatever automotive 101 for dummies, or, electronics for dummies. So yeah, so that was my experience of the Stars and Stripes. So like I said, this I was already, on the move. This thing happened a while back, but these people, I'm gonna tell you what, Stars and Stripes were quick on this. They were quick. They got sit down. I was getting emails and phone calls. One of my old friends, you media whore. Good times. I digress. I will say that again. My experience with Stars and Stripes, aside that little cover there and getting a little stern talking to about Baghdad for Dummies and representing the 1st Armored Division, Iron Soldiers, stewards of the profession, yada, yada, yada. I was a staff sergeant at the time. Come on. And so again, I saw it as everyone says it's your hometown newspaper. I didn't really see it like that, but I saw it as way to get news. Didn't matter. At the time, the term woke or whatever, nobody cared. Nobody cared when you're in those environments. As a matter of fact, everyone was just happy to get any news, even if it wasn't your fucking favorite football team or basketball team or baseball team that won. Anything. So according to the Daily Wire, It's now it's going to be modernized, and this is what the Daily Wire has said. I'm just only some of the articles printing off of it that we're discussing it, and has learned refocusing of the military outlet. I'm just gonna jump on a couple of until now it were published content from the Associated Press and Reuters, which is not entirely the case. I will say this. Knowing individuals that have worked in the DMA and knowing individuals that have worked for Stars and Stripes, that's not always the case. It's not always been repurposed. It's wires when it comes to other notes that have come from a deployed area or news out of. I've seen Stars and Stripes. Yes, I still have that copy. I still, as a matter of fact, had a few copies because family, I had to send them, home and stuff like that. And it was put on the refrigerator. It's not always been like that. I don't know where this it's only been repurposed. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's not completely AP and Reuters. I know there's been other articles and other stories that have been put on there that have been posted on Stars and Stripes because, again, it's a newspaper. You're only going to get so much information to smack it on there. And I don't know what the siphon morale shit I was happy to know 2 to 3 weeks later after I'd come back from a patrol or I'd come back doing something while I was deployed, and I saw, oh wow, I didn't know that famous actor or actress died, or I didn't know the Chicago Bulls didn't win the championship, or stuff like that. It was, I really didn't recall any woke stuff. We still don't know what the definition of woke is. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know the fact that they're talking about making it more, moving some of the civilians out of there and putting more military personnel in there. And I will say this. I remember the cover with Sergeant Major Chandler, if you're fat, you're out. I felt attacked. Yeah, exactly that. AFN, Stars and Stripes. That's all we had. I mean, we didn't care. We just wanted some information. It was funny because a lot of the PAOs and public affairs individuals that I knew from Stars and Stripes and AFN, AFRTS, and all that was posted or we saw, I ended up knowing personally, and that's how I knew them. I knew them as, I knew them as oh, you're the person that was talking about the uniform on AFN and whatever. I don't recall it ever. Like I said, I don't know where this woke stuff. Now, in the opinion pages, somebody would get pissed off because Rush Limbaugh was on air, and then somebody would get pissed off because the Tom Joyner show was on air, and then of course somebody would get pissed off because, and they would all write it in the Stars and Stripes, AFRTS and AFN. That normal whining shit that you would see in a normal. That's where ISIS psyop started. Concha, shit. You have no idea when my psyop started. Again, I did not. I don't know what's coming from. Now, this refocusing of having purely war fighters and just having, boy, I sound like Alex Jones. The refocus of having all war fighters on there and not having civilian personnel. I'm going to tell you what. Does that mean with the refocus of the Stars and Stripes of all the personnel that we are short, public affairs individuals, comms professionals, are you going to give them the same latitude as the civilian reporters that were working for the Stars and Stripes? I know for a fact I met a Stars and Stripes reporter that was a civilian that was in some shit. Are you willing, or is the organization willing to put a buck private out there, a buck sergeant out there to be with the troops, and that's it? Is the information that you're going to get into the Stars into Stars and Stripes with opinions and stuff like that? How's that going to work out? Where are you going to get your stories from? If there's an issue with the chain of command that gets put in the Stars and Stripes, is it going to get siphoned out because it's somebody's bro? Is it going to get posted? Is it going to get reported on? I really don't think. Yeah, I did, man. Frogs are gay. New on Stars and Stripes. All these soldiers here are now gay frogs. Alex Jones is going to want to fight me one of these days because he hears me talking shit about him. Or imitating his voice, I should say. Now it's the questions that you got to answer now. At this point, now what? So now when a story hits Stars and Stripes at the inbox, and it's not, I don't know, it's making the command look bad, or it's not very warrior ethosy. Not looking like a warrior ethos. Is that story going to get published? Or is this going to now change the format of emerging media? Meme pages, meme pages. Military media reporting like Task and Purpose and Army Times. I think it's going to change a lot. Some of the stuff that you're not going to see posted or not going to be written from Stars and Stripes, you'll probably see it Task and Purpose. You'll probably see it Army Times. Or you'll probably see it on Army Reddit. You'll probably see it on U.S. Army WTF Moments or Fancy Bear. Or pages like that. You'll see military content creators increase because you're going to have, well, nobody's saying bad shit. I guess the military is all hunky-dory, right? According to the Stars and Stripes. And then there's also the legal aspect of all this. I don't get, look, I get you want to change shit. I get you want to refocus stuff. That's like Congress shit you got to go through though. There's like stuff in Congress that you have to, and somebody sent me this, which I appreciate. It's law. It's law. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link inside the chats so you all can see it. That way you guys, and I'll even show you in the screenshots. The Code of Federal Regulations. And these are the business operations. Matter of fact, I will Let me grab all this right here. And I will drop it in the chats. Stars and Stripes turning to Pravda. Ooh, man. You're getting old school. There we go. It's inside the chats at all the... Matter of fact, let me make sure that WTF Nation Radio's Twitter page gets it linked. Hang on. Let me connect here. Let me connect there. Let me see. There we go. There, it's inside the chats, and it's also inside the. Let me drop this here. This link. There we go. So this is a federal. Let's look at the federal law here on the Stars and Stripes. Let's see how Stars and Stripes are supposed to run. Supposed to be run. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just window cap y'all. That way you guys can see it. There we go. Stars and Stripes. This is what? This is the Code of Federal Regulations. There you go. There it is. Stars and Stripes, business operations. Yep. Establishes blah, blah, blah. Act of ability. Talks about applies to the Office of Secretary of Defense, military departments, and National Guard and Reserve components. Chairman, Joint Chiefs and National Guard, blah, blah, Inspector General, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Stars and Stripes management. Those are pretty much got up. If you guys want to go ahead and go to the specific, the policy is that the European Command. Yep. It's in law. Yep. Okay. I see it. Stars and Stripes personnel procedures shall differ from commercial newspapers only because the Stars and Stripes are commercial or U.S. government organizations that are required to operate in accordance with the following. And there's the different laws that had discussed it. Stars and Stripes are military personnel on active duty, overseas status enforcement migrants, national security constraints, blah, 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 blah. Sensitivities to host nations should not be the reason to withhold any story from publication. I seem to remember when I was overseas, I don't think anybody gave a crap. When I remember seeing some of the stories, and you hear a story talking shit about Germany, and I'm in Germany, and I see Stars and Stripes talking shit about Germany. Or talking shit about, not talking shit, but there's a story about Germany that could get everybody, The Stars and Stripes does not represent the official position of the U.S. government, including the Department of Defense or the Unified Command. Here we go. Stars and Stripes, unofficial abstract collection of commercial news and opinion to commercial newspapers along with Stars. Yeah, I mean, what's in keeping with the First Amendment, and of course, yeah. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, if they're doing it with Manning, if they're refocusing the Manning, I don't understand how the stories you can say are woke because you're getting some of the stories from the military themselves. So if the military's talking about whatever and it's a story from Stars and Stripes, and I kind of remember, I kind of think, don't we have DVIDs for this shit? Don't we have any Yeah, what about the 2004 mess hall bombing? Yep. Yeah. Oh man, that was that. Yeah, that was and the article I was just posted in where it was talking about Fallujah getting hammered the first time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Again, I think personally, the mill meme, Army Reddit / fancy bear WTF moments industry is going to pick up, because if it's not going to, I mean, again, this is outside. Now, and that's the thing about Stars and Stripes as well. I think if Stars and Stripes, I think it needs to get more. I don't want to say, I think it needs to get more advanced as far as the way they do their posting. I know right now the story is pretty hot on their articles right now, and I think this story should have been a gift article, meaning that you don't have to subscribe, because I think this needs to get out. Do they have Facebook? Yeah, they have. Yeah, Stars and Stripes does have Facebook, because we tagged them in post. Hang on, as a matter of fact, let me get it on there for you. There we go. Let me see. Yep, there you go. There you see. They got a post. They got the same thing. They got the same, you need help, dial 988, pretty much every, pretty much all the stories that you see on there. Confirmation hearings, yep. Annual reporting, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, Coast Guard, we're going to talk about the suicide reporting. Federal watchdog. So, I mean, they are in the mix. They do tell you stories that you would not know, that you don't realize are up there, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Archives, they post their stuff in their archives. That's from the gold, and they talk about the medic. So again, their social media, and of course, there's the story that they're talking about. Their social media is active, so it's not like it's specifically. I like that comment. Stars and redactions. Let's see. Let's look it up here. Let me adjust this. Yeah, so it's the same thing we were saying before. Yep. Posted on X, woke distractions, blah, 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 DMA. Same thing that I read to you guys earlier about from Sean Parnell. Editor-in-Chief Eric Slavin, in a note to Stars and Stripes editorial staff across the globe, said the military deserves independent news. That is true. There's a lot of stories that are out there that if Stars and Stripes didn't post it or didn't say anything about it, 4 articles remaining this month. Thank you. I appreciate it. They would not have been brought to anybody's attention. We've not known. Again, these are for deployed areas and stuff too. So there's something that's happening back in the world or back in your military specific to your branch. You'd want to know that. Well, I was close when I said that I realized when I joined the service, because it said appeared during the Civil War. So, I mean, everyone likes to make fun of my age. Do I need to play Civil War music? My dearest Jessica, today I saw this paper called the Stars and Stripes. Anyways, since World War II, and it's, all that stuff that we, And so, I kind of like, I don't know if Secretary Hegseth or Sean Parnell know that it was already sort of kind of all news military. So what's going to happen with DVIDs? Some of the information that we get from them. A lot of the posts and stuff like that. A lot of their articles that they do. What's going to happen? How's the DMA going to be focused in all this stuff? I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Because you may and may not know. Whoa. I've already got memes made about the company. You guys are fast. The meme foundry's already made fun of my GWAT or GWAT. Let's see, which one is it? You guys tell me. This is going to get posted. I have a feeling this is going to get scheduled anyways, so there we go. Which one is it? GWAT or GWAT? The way you spell GWAT, though, it sounds like it sounds vulgar. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Again, curious to see what, just see what everyone's talking about, see what everyone's saying. Hey, we'll see it. But all right. Hang on, I'm just reading the comments right now. Marco Rubio's going to run it now. ICE's aviation service was in the balloon corps. Hey, what's up with that, John? Why are you breaking my Persec? Macro Rubio or your Marco? Yeah, exactly. Marco Rubio's going to run it. It does sound vulgar, though. It does. Stop being such a gwat. Somebody's a pain in the ass. Somebody gwat. All right. So, enough of that. I'm pretty sure, again, that'll get everybody all riled up on, what are you talking about? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Let's talk about this Army senior leader thing. So, what'd you guys think? Did you guys watch it? Did you guys watch the Army senior leader SITREP that individuals have been asking about or talking about? Or what did you think? You guys in the 10th Mountain. You can put, I heard. Maybe, I'm sorry. I heard it was this. What'd you all think? I'll be honest with you, it was kind of, I don't want to say, how do I say this? It was just not really it was uneventful. I mean, I didn't think it was, I don't know. It just seemed like it seemed like to me, it was more of a TED talk, talking to business leaders and not talking to soldiers. Some of the questions that came across that were pretty good, that really didn't get answered was, one of them was, why doesn't dwell time with CONUS deployments, welcome allies, Fed response, COVID-19, JTFs on the border? And I remember back in the day, it was supposed to have been that way. It was supposed to have been that if you were gone for 3 months, you were supposed to be 3 months back. I don't know if the rotations, the increase of CTC kicked it up. And one of the things that myself and other pages, all the other bosses at the other pages at Army Reddit and Fancy Bear and all the rest of them, we were talking about how the SMA said it's important we figure out how to communicate. There's a lot of information out there. And sometimes I wonder if the internet has been all that helpful. So we're trying to figure out how you know how to get trusted sources of information. Which that was kind of like, was that like a dig? Why you all digging? So one of the things that the Army Chiefs of Staff was talking about was the soldiers on the importance of discipline, fitness, fundamentals. And here's an example of the fundamentals here on the our Army Reddit did a good job capturing this video. There we go. We still got this. We still have these airborne barracks that are remotely livable, especially when you're forced people to stay there. I mean, come on. There's a meme. I'm gonna use Army Reddit's timeline because some of the posts have been dead on. Some of the stuff that's conversations we had. We're talking about the op tempo stuff. Hang on. You guys are like, I'm getting a bunch of messages right now. So remember back in the day, I guess we're supposed to get a new PT uniform. We're talking about new PT uniform. And the SMA, which is already done as an article on Task and Purpose that'll get posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments, that the top enlisted soldier said I got over my skis on the new PT uniform. It says he said the plans he announced in 2024 to replace the service's physical fitness gear have been put on pause. So that's one of the things that came out of the SITREP as well. He did talk about a new and a redesigned physical fitness training uniform for soldiers. In the delay, according to other Army leaders who joined Weimer during a virtual town hall, there may be a simple reason that the service intends on focus on other things, such as getting new and better weapon systems or addressing parental issues like the barracks, like the ones I just showed you earlier. But isn't that already part of the war fighting thing? Like if you have if you're good physical fit, that's the core of it, right? Physical fitness is the core of every soldier, of everything. If you're not physically fit, you are not able to conduct your warfighting tasks. You're not able to conduct the mission that you are, your MOS. Whatever happened to the unit that told its soldiers to move out of the barracks and then told them to move back in? Yeah, exactly. All we hear is talk, and these are some of the comments here. All we hear is talk and never action, and they wonder why we don't wait and explain. Best part of the nasty girls dropping dimes. Were y'all going to equip us? Yeah, exactly. That was a good one too. Take it easy, Allie. And we all hear blah, blah, blah. Trusted sources. You mean depends on who you trust, I guess. Man, you guys are rocking in the comments right now. New PT uniform, not the camo thong idea. Honestly, I like the current PT uniform. I know, and if I know the Army, they will mess it up. Exactly that. The House of Cards falls down, man. Yeah, whatever happened to that unit that was told its soldiers to move back into the barracks and then told them to move back? That was 101st. But yeah, your good point there, John, is the fact that they so we're supposed to have gotten one. I'll be honest with you. If you do good PT, you should just have get a contract with Under Armour or something like that. It's easy. Not spending all this money on this. Don't get me wrong. You guys know I'm a big hype man for the drone shit. But physical fitness is important. It is the core, the center pillar of how our warfighters conduct their MOS. If you're big and fat and you can't fucking do your job in your MOS, if it takes you, labored breathing just for you to go upstairs and you're an infantryman, if you're seen on the line looking like you have been on the chow line as opposed to, humping that 100-pound Joe as an artillerist, fuck, a lot of those older guys will say, dude, we've gotten a lot of pictures recently, and we have cataloged over a year's worth of soldiers that were really obese. We're not talking about the chunks. We're not talking about the ones, those big hosses that can hump a 240 Bravo and then carry a 98-pound, private, on their arm and, sit down, Joe. No, we're talking about obese. The admins know what I'm talking about. Just type in fat on the labels and you'll see a year's worth. We don't know what we're going to do with this information yet. I'm going to tell you what, for the men, for bros, hey, fat shaming works. There's that, that one meme where the woman on the top portion of the meme is asking her friends, you think I'm fat? Oh, no. You're great. Oh, you're slay queen. You look hot. You're awesome. But then there's the bottom portion of the meme where it says the guys, do I look fat? And his friends are like, yeah, bro, I know 5 people and I know 5 fat people and you're like 4 of them. Sometimes bullying works. And if you were in this profession of arms, yeah, PT is free. Exactly that, Jose. PT is free. So the PT uniform, I think, should be like the basic core, should be the center pillar of soldier development. Because if you do PT and you're in shape, I love a man doing some good PT, dude. Wasting a soldier's time, having them show up standing around for 15, 20, 30 minutes in a big Sarge formation conversation when they should be out there getting after it. I tell you what, I love a good PT workout, as old as I am. So again, this would have been a good morale boost also as well. Now, I know we've had changed several PT uniforms. When I first joined, we had the grays. And then we had the Temu Nike ones, the gray jacket and the black pants. Those things were warm as hell, by the way. Really warm, which that wasn't too bad. And then of course we went to the black and golds. And I mean, I don't the black and golds I don't think are warm enough, but they're okay. I mean, it's all right. So it's just that's one item that he said he got over his skis. Okay, let's look at the other one here. There's a conversation where, SMA Weimer initially talked about the Army going to track ahead to pillow time and using that to address op tempo, but it was never discussed again. And when it was brought up at the ASL SITREP, it was kind of blown off. Yep, that's important. I remember back in the GWAT, I remember a certain Secretary of Defense getting pissed off at organizations for burning out their troops, for blowing their I almost said blowing their quad. For blowing their dwell. We used to have to fill out documents and shit. A dwell waiver. You remember that? Old timers? You got kids are like today, like, what's a dwell waiver? Dwell waiver meant you signed a document that said it was okay for you to bust your dwell time. Because if you were gone, again, I'm using the 3-3, if you were gone for 3 months and then you came back, you were supposed to stay back for 3 months, right? Back in garrison. And if the unit wanted to send you anywhere, or if the unit wanted to deploy or do whatever, you had to sign a document saying, yes, I accept busting my dwell for this. It's like kind of funny when you talk about a dwell waiver and soldiers are looking at you like, what the hell is that? I don't think I got issued PT gear until the late 80s. Yeah, they're in shape. Around is a shape. We had BDUs. Yeah, that's right, Alex. I had BDUs too, man. Yeah, I wore UDT's brown t-shirt, steel toe boots until I filled my DFP. Oh man, sorry about that, Joe. I was about to say, I don't even think. I think a PT uniform. I think a PT uniform should be like the shorts and the t-shirt for like a unit run. I don't even think they should. And I'll be honest with you, I think PT should be at squad level. There's people complaining in the inbox at U.S. Army WTF Moments about doing squad PT. There's organizations that do company PT, and it's big sarge like crazy. But you got guys, don't complain about squad PT or doing it or team PT. Don't complain about that, please don't. You're lucky. There's other organizations out there that have it far worse than you when it comes to doing organizational PT, organized PT, especially when you have somebody who doesn't know how to do organized PT, or opened up the book, looked at the manual, and you did side straddle hops forever or overhand claps. So again, agreed. Let's continue on this right here. That was the dwell time shit. Let me go back to the other. Somebody actually asked, is there a discussion about changing the Army's tattoo policy to become more restrictive? I'm going to tell you what, when it comes to AR 63-1, no one's going to listen to it anyways because none of you guys will enforce it. Plenty of times that we've seen posts, or I should say, we've seen images come into the inbox. And all the admins ask, hey, did you correct? No. So why send us the pic, bro? Now, like video the stuff, I think there needs to be like, you know how cops have body cams. I think NCO should have body cams. So that way, bloop, you click it on there, you make your on the spot correction. Hey, I think you need to have some headgear. Well, where's your uniform top? And then it's recorded. That way everybody can see. That way you can send it to us. We'll post it. But when soldiers don't care, as a matter of fact, when soldiers don't care and they tell that leader to fuck off, or they'll tell that leader to eat a dick, and the next thing you know, it gets sent to us. We send it to the chain of command, and they're like, all right, thanks. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's it. So when it comes to the uniform stuff, especially when it comes to hair, beards, tattoos, I see some tattoos lately that there's no way a leader is not seeing like a neck tattoo, or not seeing a neatly trimmed beard, or not seeing a ponytail that's done correctly. Man, but as soon as you post it, as soon as you post it, you're add the IST to the end of it just for posting it. So that's why we can all agree that posting fat soldiers, I think, is more acceptable. Case dependent, of course. I know individuals who've been on profile forever and cannot freaking, who take medicine, individuals who've had cancer or diabetes, and they're getting processed out. Then they get processed out. Okay, gotcha. All right, that's understandable. What's the status of this guy? Now it's at the point where we'll ask, what happened to this guy? Did this guy get injured and he's like getting, he's getting chaptered out? Okay, we're not going to really, we're not really going to do that. We're not going to really post, or we're not adding the comment of that. It's when somebody asks for our massive catalog of fat troopers. But most cases of the soldiers that we've received in the inbox that are like legit obese have been, our commander does not want to process these soldiers out because we need the numbers. Still curious about that NCO that was in charge of that extra duty on HBO. Yeah, exactly. That soldier was gone. Those soldiers are gone. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just saying specifically that, look, you cannot be fat. So when the second war goes, fat soldiers, even though I'm going like, hey man, I'm right here, bro. You ain't got to call me out. I'm retired though. It should offend you. It should upset you that if you are obese, or it should offend you as a leader too, that if you have obese soldiers and you're keeping them for numbers because you want to hit that CTC rotation or that Euro rotation or that Pacific rotation, you got to process them out, because there's some hungry soldiers out there, no pun intended, that want to take that spot. You're preventing those troops from moving up. Let me see if we got the audio on the stuff right here. Hang on. Here, we're gonna get this right quick. Let me straighten this up. Let me get my window cap back up. And this is going back to the tattoo stuff. This was on Army Reddit.
Changing the Army's tattoo policy to become more restrictive. This is from Sergeant First Class Pippin in 1509.
What's that 1509? Why are you doing that?
No, I don't. I'm not that I'm aware of.
See, that I'm aware of.
No, I don't. I'm not aware of. We talk about changing a lot of different things. Maybe we'll all get this. Will defend put on our forearms. I don't know. Never say never. But no, not that I'm aware of. Now again, there's a lot of policy changes happening right now, and you're seeing it all in open source. And some of those, we're trying to be involved in every one of those conversations to represent the Army's equities in those, right? So that matters. So, but right now, no.
SMA, got one for you here.
Okay. One of the biggest things that hits the inbox is some big sarge posting and talking about, I heard, or my NCO said, in the new AR DAPAM 6-1, this is going to happen, and then they start enforcing it. Now, a lot of stuff that comes across the desk, we talked to Zoltan, and Zoltan, the S1 guru, we're like, dude, did you see this? Yeah, we saw. That's bullshit. Okay, cool. That's bullshit. It's not in policy. Don't send us drafts. If your NCO is telling, and that's another thing too, I think our NCO Corps needs to tighten up on what is not rumant and what is fact. There is current, like SMA just said, there is no change. There is no discussion of changing the tattoo policy. It is what it is. So if you're not going, it is as in the policy stands to what it is now. We shake our heads a lot and go, dude, we don't want a soldier to get in trouble, but we'll say, dude, your fucking NCO's an idiot. Because we get questions, these soldiers are getting told by their senior leaders that this is going to happen and tattoos can't do this because Big Sarge doesn't like the fact that that you have a tattoo, or doesn't like sleeves, or they don't like what's on your arm, or they don't like whatever, because they like to open up that shit to their own interpretation. And it's not the case. All right, let me pull up another one here. Okay. Oh, yeah. You guys want to see the one about the dwell here? Let's get the dwell one right here. All right, let's do the dwell right quick.
I'm an 88 November Transportation Coordinator with the 620th Movement Control Team, and my question is on dwell time. Why doesn't dwell time reset with CONUS deployments? A couple examples could be the Operation Welcome Allies, or even the federal response to COVID-19, or even the JTF Southern Border mission that's happening currently.
So I'll take this may be one of our easier ones. So it should. So if it's a named mission like JTF Southern Border, it should reset. And then what we're shooting for, just for kind of context, is 1 to 3. So for every month you are gone, we want to try to get you 3 months back at home. Obviously, the world is a dynamic place, and there have been many times, and no doubt if you were around this unit in the early 2000s, that was not what was achieved, and it was much closer to 1 to 2. But our goal is for basically any time you do a named mission to have 3x the amount of time back here.
The challenge is on us figuring this out. We're pretty good at tracking the larger the units, and so then we won't put them forward for a global force management to go do something. The challenge is you just get off of this deployment and you've been gone, and then you deploy to another unit. I mean, and that's where we're trying to, and this gets back to what the Secretary was talking about before, and what we're doing. We're trying to be very data-centric and actually understand down to the name tape, what does that mean when everybody moves to a different location. I think that's the fidelity that we're working to get towards. So it's personal, rather than just beyond the units.
And this is an example of a problem, like something like generative AI and like all of the compute you're hearing about and reading about.
AI. You hear that? AI. I posted on my Twitter account that right now the Army is at the stage of AI like a battle captain finding out about the slide transitions on PowerPoint. You ever remember that? You have somebody doing a brief and they just discovered that you could change the slide to make it go like it was wavy, or you could do a vertical blinds, or it had a circle, or it had a square, and it made your fucking brief go 20 minutes longer than it was supposed to have been. That's how I feel about AI right now with the Army. I'm not saying it cannot be good, but right now, yeah, especially when it comes to manning and stuff like that. There's an article that there's even medical professionals talking to the VA saying slow your roll on AI, which will get posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Probably using often in your personal lives. With that meant sheer number of human beings, no human brain and no basic computer system ever could have managed this with any sort of like efficiency or effectiveness.
Okay, there was a method to track it back in the day, and in the end of 2021, there was a message that increased deployment recovery periods, which was known as dwell time, but it expired the following year in 2022 without no viable replacement or update to the relevant regulations. There was at one time the ability to track it. That's why the Secretary of Defense at the time, back in the day, Mattis, was going off on Army leaders that were posting, that were sending their troops that they had quote unquote busted their dwell time.
Generative AI actually will probably put us in a place where we can do this a lot better. And so we are very close as we are taking all of these silos of data and connecting these pipes and the plumbing on the back end, which none of that should mean anything to you. But when those pipes and plumbing are connected, what we are really optimistic we can do is start to apply these tools to help with that. And
that's what IPSA was trying to do. IPSA was trying to, this is because you got Big Sarge out there with their cover sheets. That's another thing too. Everyone not wanting to go to electronic instead of using, they're just using cover sheets the old school way. Yeah, exactly that. AI is not ready for prime time. Good point, Alex. Right now, if I sign up for Skynet early, will they make unaliving real quick? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at the audience of that shit. Everyone's talking about the haircuts of the audience. Woo! You want to talk about standards? Is that a WTF moment? Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue on this right here. I know there was a meme that There was a meme that Army Reddit posted out because it was said that we did not that we just been, we're the trusted source. If you didn't hear from us, it's not true, is what the SMA said. Which is a matter of fact, what was funny was because the some of the information that's not being put out, it is true. It's from other pages that like Army Reddit, like WTF Moments, like Fancy Bear, like the other I'm just, okay, gotcha. Even there was even a meme done for it. I felt like I should yoink it. So these are, from what I heard, these are the Army comms. I guess we're the agitators. We're the ones that don't know what we're talking about. If it doesn't come from us, don't trust it, quote unquote. You'll see your fan favorites there. NCO support forum. Hots and Cots, us, Fancy Bear, Mops and Moes. She wants the ISRD, and of course, Army Reddit, and Zoltan. So again, I was gonna go through another one, but I didn't want to bore you guys with a bunch of videos. So check out WTF Moments' Facebook. Go to the U.S. Army's YouTube page. This event was pre-recorded. It was not. There were no live questions. There was a live premiere, but it was not a live video. So anyways, now what was the last thing? Hang on, let me double check to make sure my notes are good. I want to make sure I'm squared away. A delayed report. The delayed report. There was, hang on, let me get my notes up before I don't want to like detonate right now and detonate on the wrong thing and not be in a roll, because you guys know when I go on my rants, I try to be as articulate as I can. So there was supposed to have been an annual suicide report that was supposed to have been issued at the end of the month. At the end of the FY. It was due last fall. And Pentagon officials are blaming the government shutdown for delaying the annual suicide report, which I think everybody who's checked out all of our call for attendances for soldiers taking their lives, not the veterans, but I'm talking about soldiers taking their lives, I think you'll see. You can do a count. Go over the last year of calls for attendance. And you can ask us. And we can assist in that. I think you could have done all the reports that you can, and all you had to do is wait for the numbers to adjust. And then have it now. Which, I mean, personally, I think, okay. Everything else got posted, or everything else is being utilized. Every other initiative that's coming out is being posted or whatever. New reports, studies are saying. But the annual suicide report for 2024 is delayed because the government shut down. Annual report, which includes rates of suicide or attempts across the active duty, reserve, and National Guard forces, all of the compos, typically comes out in the fall and addresses the numbers from the previous calendar year. The delay of the report's release, covered by Business Insider, which only got a few answers from the Pentagon, who has said, nothing new announced at this time. So this is where the vacuum comes in, right? So then if the report is released, and if it comes out from a Millbeam page and it gets posted, would it get put out in the Stars and Stripes, or not get reported, or not the ability to get reported from Task and Purpose of the Army Times? When the report is released, it is distributed to Congress and posted on a Public Defense Suicide Prevention Office website, and journalists covering the military typically get briefed on the numbers, long-term trends, and prevention efforts employed across the services. And like the implementation of the Brandon Act, a law that passed by Congress aiming to give service members more access to mental health resources without career interference. So again, I didn't want to be emotional about this, because I know for the team, it's been pretty hard on the team for the last year or so of posting calls for attendances for soldiers. I'm not talking about the veterans, but soldiers that have ended their lives, or talking to a PAO or talking to a commander whose soldier has ended their life, and we have to wait for notification, of course, and then not seeing it on a stat. Or a family member being told by the chain of command, maybe it's not a good idea to do a call for attention. Who did you talk to? Now, we can get in the weeds with that, but again, I don't want to freaking hang on. I think somebody's upset downstairs. Oh, that sounds like the little man. I think I better get going. Little man's he's getting all upset. So the last annual report released in November 2024 said the suicide rates among active duty troops, spouses, and dependents have increased since 2012. Again, it'd be nice to see some reports so we can see the stats and trends. So that's going to get posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments' Facebook page. That is from Task and Purpose. I think. Are we alive? Are we active? Hello? You guys still there? No way. You guys still there? Do you guys see me? Can you guys see me talking? Well, I don't want to know what conversation I just walked into, because I just would smaller regiments like the chaplaincy have a suicide rates as well? See, that's the thing, Mike. We're trying to figure out. Without notification, without that report, we don't know. So yeah, sorry. For some reason, my digits went and it says that we were offline for like a second. So, and I'm looking at it. It's not so. But yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating that you can't talk. Look, it's okay. And I say this to commanders all the time. And I say this to public affairs officers all the time. It's okay for you to report your news. It's not bad news. As a matter of fact, the American public asked for this type of information. Not because they're trying to slam somebody or whatever. They just want to know. You guys still there? Oh, man. Why is it you guys blame Verizon, and there it goes. I see it pop up, and it's like saying that I'm dropping people. You guys still see me, right? Applying it, highly doubtful. They're artistic, neither topic or entertainment. I don't know what that means, Holly, when you say that. I don't know what that means at all. Yeah, dude, why are you? Yeah, I did bork your ass. I'm saying you guys are like throwing the heebie-jeebies at me. Check my net. Yeah, I'm green. I'm green on the webs. That's weird. You guys are throwing some of that heebie-jeebie stuff. Maybe it's Alex Jones finally infiltrating. I heard you were talking shit about me. Anyways, that's really all I had today. Not really much on the on Army news. But it's time to do some housekeeping. Let me get the paperwork back up here. Let me get the slides ready. Yeah, my internet's acting wonky. I don't know why. I don't. All right, this starts time. Normally Spanky's here, but she's got some things going on, and of course tomorrow's FTX. Saturday we have weekend co-ops, and then obviously on Monday we have the King and Me with the actual King Smith and his wife Michelle. Monday edition with myself and Massey. Massey travels so much. He's singing so much in his band and stuff. He's doing a lot of good musical stuff. Can't wait. We're going to be getting his music and posting it as part of our bumper music. Then of course, pop culture warrior Michael Carrasquillo, the pop culture warrior, with his angry stuff of Mad Mike and Angry Elf. Ron DeSantis, gay frogs are using AI. Yeah, Ron, come see me. Let's chat. Yeah. And of course, on Wednesdays, we have the WTF Nation Radio's Sports Bar and the Smoke Pit. And then, of course, moi, Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky. Man, I think that covers it. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't have enough info. I really just wanted to hit that stuff and really highlight. What I got a beast to sell you. One of our admins talked about the Stars and Stripes as well. And hang on, let me show you a pic. And this photo that I'm going to show you was taken by a Stars and Stripes journalist. She was the sister-in-law of the pilot flying this mission. And everyone, I think, has seen this. So again, I'm just going to say right now, if you're going to gut the Stars and Stripes of the civilians and then have them filled with service members, then you better be ready to have service members deployed to fill these roles. Because some of these civilians that have done reporting and have done journalism for the Stars and Stripes have been out there in the shit. So if you're willing to take that responsibility and you're ready to to have that buck sergeant, PFC specialist out there writing the stories for them, doing those stories, we'll see. That's one thing you got to take into consideration. So make sure you share, like, and follow. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, I did. It was weird that my net just went. It was really weird. Share, like, and follow. We're broadcasting live on 5 different platforms. Man, we are 2 Facebook pages, 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, named, of course. And then, of course, at WTF Nation Radio on X. So, anywho, I think that's it. Make sure you share, like, and follow. And, somebody said the Twitter went down. All right, well, let me double check. Yeah, I guess Twitter went down. So we got our Twitter stuff. Yep, it stopped broadcasting an hour and 9 minutes in. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, it must have been, I wonder how long it was out because I wasn't paying attention to it. So, anyways, make sure you share, like, and follow. And, thank you for hanging out with us. Have a good weekend and shots. Don't forget to tune into FTX. See you. Gotta find my bumpers. Gwat.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Driving us insane. ATF 0 dark 30, no time to complain. Push ups in the mud, feel the muscle strain. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstorms in our eyes. Memories for breakfast, no room for lies. Running watches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters, we rise. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant's fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Souls and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken driven by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle army ranks. It's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the Army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our zen. Battle buddies by our side, our men. In the Army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.